what's going on, guys? This is Drew Century here. Today we are going to be checking out the SpongeBob Conspiracy 8, the time-traveling ghost pirate theory. Now, you guys told me to react to this one because apparently Alex Bale added the most to this one. So if you don't know, Alex Bale dropped like a new version of it. So this is like me reacting to the new version. So we're going to check that out. But if you're wondering where I'm reacting to all the other theories, I did a video with all the new mini theories in one. It's on my channel, or you just search up Drew Century SpongeBob theory reaction or something like that. But I uploaded it like last week, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. So check that out if you want to. But I'm gonna probably be dropping these new ones one by one, like the new renditions. Let me know which one I should do next. Tell me which one he changed up the most next to this one, and I'll do that one next. But I'm interested to see what he changed up. But I also don't really remember this theory that well.
Instead of ending with the big twist, I'm just gonna open with it. The Flying Dutchman is the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. This is a claim that makes absolutely no sense.
Facts.
They look different, they act different, and most importantly, Patchy the Pirate is alive at the same time we see the Flying Dutchman.
Right.
It would be impossible to prove that they're the same person, right? Well, you know,
unless
I like a challenge. This is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory.
All right. He changed it up, so I'm guessing there's new info on it. The tragedy of Patchy the Pirate. Okay.
Before I get into how these characters connect, I have to explain the tragic backstory of Patchy the Pirate.
I'm Patchy the Pirate, president of the SpongeBob SquarePants fan
The biggest
club.
SpongeBob fan to ever
Patchy the Pirate is
exist.
the president of the SpongeBob fan
Next to
club,
me.
and they often cut to him during special episodes to host the show and talk to the audience.
Right.
He fits in perfectly with my television theory, and clearly works for the in-universe SpongeBob SquarePants showrunners as some kind of mascot for the show.
True. I actually didn't think about that.
If it isn't my
Let's
less
connect.
than amusing sidekick, Patchy the Parrot.
Patchy is this weird, lonely guy whose only friend is a talking parrot who's constantly harassing him, and I'm also pretty sure Patchy wants to eat him.
Shivery
what the hell?
timbers, it's Patchy. I wonder what parrot tastes like.
But that's not what this theory is about. If you rewatch all the episodes with Patchy, you
Didn't he damn near eat Patchy the
start to
Pirate though?
notice a bit of a
Or no?
disturbing development with his character. Patchy has devoted his entire life to SpongeBob, but that devotion is very one-sided. And the more time that goes on, the more resentful Patchy becomes of SpongeBob. In the season 3 episode Party Pooper Pants, Patchy throws a house party and tries to invite SpongeBob, but he doesn't show up.
Say, you didn't bring SpongeBob with you, did you? Gee, I sure hope he got his invitation.
Did
I'd
he?
sure like
He
to
did.
go to this party, but I can't read the invitation.
Because it's
But
underwater.
Patchy doesn't really seem to be
Of
that upset
course.
about it.
Ah, well.
But then things start to take a turn in the episode The Sponge Who Could Fly.
All
Patchy
right.
follows a map and goes on a crazy adventure to find the legendary Lost SpongeBob episode, and after finally getting it, this is what plays.
Oh, I remember this. It was hella disappointing.
That's it? That's the lost episode?
I'm not gonna lie, I remember that episode that was fire where he was like hunting for it, but like, yeah, I would be pissed too if it was just walking.
That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles! What a rip!
So, Patchy got
Didn't
let
it
down
end
by
up being
SpongeBob
something else, though,
again,
too?
But I'm sure he'll get over it just like last time.
SpongeBob betrayed us! I'm sorry
I'm not gonna lie, was I the only person who was low-key scared of Patchy when I was a kid?
Patchy
My
has
man
a
would crash out
full-on
so much.
mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, he does find the real Lost episode and goes.
Wait, I kind of, one second.
It's a
Okay, it says the
full-on
reason SpongeBob's
mental
eyes look so big is because they weren't
Now,
allowed to
eventually, he does
show
find the real Lost
SpongeBob
episode and
merch
goes
in a
back
show
to
for
normal,
kids.
But this is just
Little
the
thing at the
start
top.
of Patchy's transformation into a much darker character. In the season 6 episode Truth or Square, Patchy throws a massive television extravaganza to celebrate 10 years of SpongeBob. There is a ton of production value and celebrities that Patchy
Oh,
managed
yeah,
to
yeah.
get. There is
LeBron,
no way
hey!
SpongeBob wouldn't show up for it.
SpongeBob
Sorry, I'm a little glazer.
SquarePants!
He didn't
What do
show.
you mean he's not coming? 10 years I've been president in his fan club.
Patchy, don't you understand
Patchy
he's a
has dedicated
cartoon?
10 years of his life to SpongeBob, and he can't even be bothered to show up once. And this never even gets resolved in the episode either. Patchy tries to find SpongeBob, thinks he's about to meet him, but then it turns out it was all just a dream.
Mister, are you okay?
SpongeBob.
You know you're obsessed with people when you're having
It's
dreams
just me,
about him.
the guy in the penny.
Patchy's one-sided obsession with SpongeBob is making him delusional, and this is
Right.
by no means the last time Patchy will hallucinate meeting SpongeBob. In Atlantis SquarePantis, Patchy gets lost in the desert and once again hallucinates SpongeBob.
Uh-oh. Here come the hallucinations.
He knows they're coming.
It's
Ugh.
me, SpongeBob SquarePants.
But then,
Dude.
in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, it seems like he finally really does meet SpongeBob.
From your biggest fan. Huh? I have a fan?
Surprise! It's Patchy the Pirate.
Yeah, there's no way. It's just a severed head.
Happy birthday, SpongeBob.
Thank you, Patchy.
But even if they don't explicitly say it, this is definitely another hallucination. It's
Right.
after he crashed into an island, and he's just a severed head for some reason, and he can breathe underwater. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is a hallucination. They have
I
another
agree with
alleged
that.
meeting in SpongeBob's Road to Christmas special, but this time Patchy's fully animated for some reason, so I'm pretty skeptical about this one too. In fact,
Yeah, I would
I'm
guess
gonna
that wouldn't
come back to
count.
this one. Keep it in mind because it's gonna be very important later on. So, as much as Patchy
All right.
worships SpongeBob and wants
Keep that
to
in
meet
mind.
him, he never will. And you don't have to take my word for it either.
Hmm.
In a 2009 WonderCon panel with some of the actors and creators of SpongeBob, they talk about the rules they have for writing the show, including the fact that Patchy can never meet SpongeBob.
Damn.
Has evolved into this pirate that's obsessed with SpongeBob. Well, they can never meet, right?
Well, yeah, they can never meet. There's a lot of rules in SpongeBob which are there for a reason, which I think is part of.
That's always the interesting part about this is like, you know, the creators, like, that's how you know some of the theories aren't just theories. They're like, it's literally Alex figuring stuff out, because if you think about it, like, they have rules in SpongeBob. Like I fully believe his television theory is not a theory, it's just true. That's one I believe. And the Mrs. Puff theory is one I think is just absolutely not even a theory, it's just true. Except for like the warden part, I think that part of his theory is wrong. But the Mrs. Puff theory, the beginning, I literally think is just the truth. Is that just for me? Like, I literally feel like some of his things are just the truth. And honestly, the Goofy Goober one is one as well where I'm like, that one could be another truth. Like, I don't know. This one, with the, I'll tell you if I believe it at the end of the new theory, but we'll see.
Success in a way.
From the very start of his creation, they doomed Patchy to be an obsessed fan who would never meet his
Right.
idol. He will spend the rest of his life devoted to SpongeBob, but no matter how hard he tries, he will never reach Bikini Bottom, and he will never meet SpongeBob. And unfortunately, that is the tragic story of Patchy the Pirate.
That's not
But
all.
if all of that's true, then I just have one lingering question. How come the
And?
dumpster behind the Krusty Krab has a message that reads, Patchy was
That's
here"?
crazy.
Don't go anywhere, because the time-traveling ghost pirate theory
That is
about
actually
to
kinda
get
crazy.
crazy.
Patchy was here, because you got to think how. Okay, that is probably one of the most damning evidence for this, because if you think about it, how would Patchy? He can't. It's underwater. It's at the deepest depths of the water, because they are standing on ground. That is the deepest depths of the water. So, how could anybody? And nobody would know Patchy either, because like it's not like they watch their own show. I doubt SpongeBob's playing on TV down there.
I'll come back to this message later, but first, we have to talk about the mysterious origins of the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman is the legendary ghost pirate that haunts Bikini Bottom.
Sure, what is
In
the
a
origin?
pirate ship, the
remember.
Flying Dutchman descends on Bikini Bottom.
The first time we hear about the Flying Dutchman is in the episode Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, when SpongeBob finds a comic book about his origins.
It's the origin of the Flying Dutchman. It says when he died, they used his body as a window display. Now he haunts the 7 seas because he was never put to rest.
Now, I've always been a little skeptical about this origin, not just because it's claiming they put an actual human corpse up as display in a kid's store,
Yeah, that's
but because
pretty
the Flying
undamn-
Dutchman
like,
himself
unbelievable.
contradicts it.
It's a little torn. Of course, it was the shirt I was buried in.
He was
So
never put to rest.
If he
That
was
does
buried,
contradict
then
itself.
This origin can't be true. So, who is the Flying Dutchman actually?
Or maybe they mean his soul,
when I
though.
watched all the episodes with the Flying Dutchman, I kept noticing that he seems to have some kind of fixation with SpongeBob in particular. In the episode Shanghai,
Yes.
he drops his anchor on SpongeBob's home, which leads to him having to briefly join the Dutchman's crew. Then, in Born Again Krabs, he's about to take Mr. Krabs' soul, but then immediately changes his mind when SpongeBob offers his soul instead. And even in the Camp Coral prequel show, he
Shit.
haunts SpongeBob as a kid. But strangest of all, in Ghost Host, the Dutchman's ship gets destroyed, and out of all the places in Bikini Bottom he could stay, he decides to stay with
SpongeBob. Oh damn.
Vacation where I'll be staying? Business or residence? Residence.
And look at the way he mischievously smiles when he sees SpongeBob. It feels like this is personal for him.
I just get what Alex is going at, but it just feels like the two. separate entities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like nothing like that Patchy the Pirate like acts like is the way that the Flying Dutchman acts like. Like, I could definitely see them being the same person if they acted a little more alike. But it just... And why would your voice change if you were a ghost? I mean, I guess maybe to hide the secret.
Why?
If this was all planned from the beginning, right?
The first time we get a bit more depth of the Flying Dutchman's character. At first, he spends all of his time torturing SpongeBob.
Oh my god!
But eventually,
that episode genuinely scared me.
Out with him.
Maybe stay with a friend for a while.
When I was a kid.
Just for a little while longer.
Even though his ship's already been repaired.
He secretly likes SpongeBob.
Actually, I have a confession, SpongeBob. My ship's been done for 3 months now.
It feels like the Dutchman has some kind of vendetta against SpongeBob specifically, but also deep down, he's just lonely and wants to be SpongeBob's friend.
Just like Patchy.
Does that remind you of anyone?
Yeah.
Someone who's desperate to be SpongeBob's friend, but also has a deep resentment towards him. Okay,
it's a crazy
bunch of reasons why
resemblance.
The Flying Dutchman couldn't be the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. I mean, for starters, they look totally different, right? Different shirt, different hat, and most importantly, the Dutchman doesn't have the iconic hook and eye patch that Patchy does.
Yeah, but those aren't real.
This is the point where I was about to give up and scrap this theory, but then I decided to rewatch the Season 1 episode, ARG, where SpongeBob plays a board game called The Flying Dutchman.
I was gonna read those damn facts, but they were on the screen too quick.
So that's actually based on the Flying Dutchman's real map.
The Flying Dutchman's treasure hunt.
Based on a real treasure
hunt. Oh, I love this
and
episode.
Then I noticed something. One of the game cards actually shows a picture of the Flying Dutchman. I mean, look, he clearly has the same nose and face as him, but this looks like a picture of when he was still alive and had a darker black beard. But the hat he's wearing is not the usual Flying Dutchman hat. It is the exact same hat Patchy the Pirate wears. Okay.
So what? It's him when he's alive?
The eye patch and the hook hand, right? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Neither does Patchy. Patchy's hook is always switching hands, and he constantly takes off his eye patch. Because Patchy isn't a real pirate.
Yeah.
He's just pretending to be one.
The great thing about Patchy is that he lives in Encino, California. But he's a pirate. But the only thing that makes him a pirate is that he says he's one and dresses like one.
He just acts like a pirate all day.
But the shirt is still very different. You know, the Dutchman's is all open and it's got those stripy things. Patchy's is more fancy with the big white puffy collar and cuffs. Well, in the Curse of Bikini Bottom, we see the Flying Dutchman's closet and he pulls out the exact same shirt. Same fancy puffy collar, same cuffs.
Okay.
Same shirt that Patchy wears. The exact same shirt that wears. Same. Oh shit!
Damn! Wait, hold on. That dude that just popped up, he reacted to a video that I'm in. That's funny.
Yo, it's over. It's over. It's over. I fucking love these.
Fine, okay. Maybe Patchy the Pirate and the Dutchman look the same, but that doesn't mean they're the same person. It's time we address the elephant in the room. The Flying Dutchman can't be Patchy's ghost because.
Okay, pause. I low-key think one thing about the whole attire thing is like hella pirates dress the exact same. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like that's the most damning of it. I think the biggest thing he got right now is that the Patchy was here because no way anybody could write that but Patchy. Like, even if it was like a joke in Bikini Bottom, like nobody knows Patchy because he's from the surface. So, you know, he got that for sure, but
Patchy
clothes I'm like iffy
at the
about.
same time we see the Flying Dutchman. Like, in order for this theory to be true, Patchy would have to die, and then the Dutchman's ghost would show up. But they're simultaneously existing at the same time.
Right.
Patchy even shows up during an episode all about the Flying Dutchman, and he even calls it his favorite episode.
We're gonna see me favorite show, Shanghai. Ta-da!
It is physically impossible for Patchy and the Dutchman to be the same person. Or is it? Things are about to get stranger.
Nani? It's about time. I see what you did there.
When I rewatched all the episodes with the Flying Dutchman, I noticed something strange. In the Season 7 episode, The Curse of Bikini Bottom, the Dutchman gets a girlfriend, but starts to freak out when
that ain't a girlfriend.
She wants to marry me! I ain't the marrying type!
But the Dutchman not being the marrying type isn't entirely true. Back in Season 3 during Ghost Host, we see that the Dutchman was once married.
Is that a wedding ring?
Oh, this shows nothing.
Alright, but so what? You know, this just seems like a small
man's a player.
continuity error between seasons. No surprise for SpongeBob.
Right.
But in the Season 6 special, SpongeBob vs. the Big One, there's an even stranger moment like this. The Flying Dutchman bumps into Mr. Krabs and says this to him.
Ah! It's a Flying Dutchman! Ah! It's some guy I've never seen before!
He says he's never met Mr. Krabs before.
Don't worry, I'll talk more about this in one sec.
Episodes from previous seasons dedicated to the Dutchman trying to steal Mr. Krabs' soul for being too greedy.
Yeah, I could agree with Alex here because the thing is, bro, is why add that line? If you're somebody in the writing room, why add that line?
Even on a first name basis.
Eugene Krabs! It's some guy I've never seen before!
Alright, so another weird inconsistency with the Dutchman, but I'm still not convinced that it's not just lazy writing. But back in The Curse of Bikini Bottom, there's a moment that cannot be written off as another continuity error. SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally shave off the Dutchman's beard, and the Dutchman claims the beard won't grow back for another 1,000 years.
Your beard will just grow back.
You know nothing of my facial hair! It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back!
But by the end of the episode, we cut to several months later, and his beard is back.
The curse will wear off when my beard grows back.
Several months later.
She wants to marry me!
It's not like this is just some plot point they forgot about.
Yeah,
it's
the next
this
scene.
Several months later is in the same episode where the Dutchman
Wild.
says the beard takes 1,000 years to grow back.
It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back.
Several months later.
Why the fuck would they include this line if they were just gonna contradict it a few minutes later in the same goddamn
It's on
episode?
purpose.
Calm down, Alec.
They even blatantly mention that it's several months later twice, as if
I
they're
love
trying
Internet
to make you
City.
realize how inconsistent it is.
Several months later.
Well, here we are several months later.
So, what does any of this mean? Why are the writers of SpongeBob intentionally making the Flying Dutchman as inconsistent
That could have
as
very
possible?
easily been a
Well,
joke, though.
The only way that this makes sense to me is if we're seeing the Flying Dutchman non-chronologically. And by that I mean, the Flying Dutchman is time traveling. Just bear with me for a second. For SpongeBob, only several months have passed, but for the Dutchman, it actually was 1,000 years later. The Dutchman didn't recognize Mr. Krabs in Season 6 because for him, this is the first time they've met. And from his perspective, the episodes where he tries to take Mr. Krabs' soul haven't happened yet. Okay, this is the one obvious contradiction I made in this theory. Why wouldn't the Flying Dutchman know who Mr. Krabs is if he's supposed to be Patchy, aka the #1 fan of SpongeBob SquarePants? Obviously, he would recognize one of the main characters of the show.
Of
so
course.
yeah, that's my bad. I think we could just throw this whole point away. I think the actual reason why the Dutchman doesn't recognize Mr. Krabs here is just because of the beard. And even if you take away this piece of evidence, I still think there's enough to make.
Oh, you know what? That actually makes so much sense. I was sitting there thinking, like, what?
A case for the Dutchman having a messed up continuity. The Dutchman's not the marrying type in Season 7, but he probably actually does end up getting married.
Wow,
to the
so that
giant
whole segment
monster,
just gets
and
taken
that's
out
why
in
we
this
see him with the
update.
ring in Season 4, because the
Wild.
past is the future for the Flying Dutchman. Whoa. Okay, let's calm down for a second there, Alex. This time travel idea does fix a lot of problems with the Dutchman's continuity, but claiming a character has time travel powers is a major leap. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Flying Dutchman is a very powerful ghost. He can teleport, he can shapeshift, he can grant wishes, but we've never seen him manipulate time.
You
Or
get
have we?
3 wishes.
Wishes? I wish we had known that earlier.
There we go.
You got 2 wishes left.
There we go.
Huh. Okay, so the Dutchman's time travel.
Wow.
And you know what this means? The Flying Dutchman could absolutely be the ghost of Patchy the Pirate, and I'm gonna prove it.
I'm interested. Y'all told me this was the most updated one. I feel like he's only updated a little bit from what I can remember, but I haven't watched this in like a year or
Patchy
two.
the Pirate eventually becomes the Flying Dutchman, that means at some point in the future, Patchy is going to die. Except, here's the thing. I think Patchy is already dead in present day, and we have already seen his death on screen.
Really?
Remember that Christmas special I told you would be important later on? It's the Season 13 episode, SpongeBob's Road to Christmas, and as of recording this, it's the latest episode in the SpongeBob timeline. SpongeBob does meet Patchy in this episode, but for some reason, he's fully animated instead of using the usual live-action style.
Ahoy,
'Cause he's
SpongeBob
dead.
and Patrick! It's me, Patchy the Pirate!
It honestly feels kind of creepy for some reason.
I
Especially
feel
since
that.
the creators themselves said that Patchy could never meet SpongeBob.
Well, they
It
can
was
never
off.
meet, right?
Well, yeah, they can never meet it.
Is it possible that this isn't the real Patchy? Well, the last
Give me
time we saw
goosebumps,
live-action
Alex.
Patchy was in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, and that episode ended with him being fired out of a cannon and crashing into an island.
Stop. I'm actually getting goosebumps right now. What?
Immediately after that, Patchy's severed head shows up and meets SpongeBob. But I already explained how this is clearly just another hallucination, and he's probably just gonna wake up on the island disappointed that he didn't actually meet SpongeBob like every other time. But what if this is something more than just a simple dream that he can wake up from? I mean, the last shot we saw of the real Patchy
it's so eerie, dude.
Struggling to get out. What if they didn't? And
that's
this is what
so
Patchy is hallucinating as he dies. During this hallucination, he begins singing the show's theme song with SpongeBob to wrap up the episode.
Oh, who's having a birthday under the sea?
But as they're singing, we briefly cut to this horrifying shot of Patchy's body with Potty's head lying on the island, violently convulsing in pain.
Oh my god! I low-key don't remember that. I think I watched this episode too.
It happens so...
It's kind of weird to think about, like, is Patchy dead? Okay, well, there's been a lot of SpongeBob since. Like I said, I don't watch SpongeBob still. I don't watch the newer episodes. I watched all the older ones, but... Have they shown Patchy since this theory dropped?
So quick that I...
Because if not, that's insane.
Didn't even process it the first time. But goddamn, that is some terrifying imagery for a kid's show.
I'm insane. It's insane that they allowed that.
Is this some kind of PG symbolic way to show Patchy and Potty suffocating to death in the sand? Holy shit.
I guess so.
Okay, this is definitely the darkest thing I've ever found in SpongeBob. Please enjoy this compilation of people's reactions to it.
What the is
I never saw this, but my god, that's terrifying.
What?
What? I love this dude, bro.
What is this episode?
I love Chris Wilson.
What? Ah! Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. I felt that. I felt that, bro.
And Potty, the hosts of the SpongeBob SquarePants television show, are dead. What happens now? Well, the show must go on. The SpongeBob SquarePants television show has to continue without him, but they need a new host to replace Patchy. Except, are they really gonna tell their young audience that their beloved Patchy the Pirate and Potty the Parrot are dead?
Surely not.
They're gonna replace them with animated actors.
And they're using actors.
That's so realistic too.
Hey, that's showbiz for you.
That's something they would do.
So when I made this claim that Patchy was replaced by a fake animated actor, I was convinced that it was going to get disproved like a week after I posted this theory, and live-action Patchy would return and completely disprove the idea that he died. But not only has live-action Patchy never returned in the 5 years since the creepy...
Oh my god, he's never returned? One thought that I had was like, hey, does the Patchy actor just want to retire? That was one thing I had, but let me let Alex cook.
But the creepy fake animated Patchy has returned once again for a 2023 Christmas special where he watches old SpongeBob Christmas episodes on a live stream.
On a live stream?
Sweet Neptune, I'm going viral.
Yeah. Hey, follow my Twitch, by the way. You're an imposter.
What the? Back off, you flying freak!
I mean, he's referencing when he pretended to be Santa, but still.
Oh.
What happened to the real Patchy
Among Us
after he died? Well, he became a ghost and could finally meet his idol SpongeBob, except when he goes to Bikini Bottom, what would he see? SpongeBob and all of his friends partying without him.
Oh shit, because it was on the birthday episode!
His entire life to SpongeBob.
He was on the birthday episode, I forgot!
And SpongeBob never even knew Patchy existed. And
that is
resentment that's been building
wild.
up inside of Patchy for all of these years finally explodes. And this is how Patchy the Pirate becomes the Flying Dutchman. Patchy is done pretending to be a pirate and dressing up in his fake costumes. He gets a new look, a new identity, and now he can finally live out the fantasy of being a real pirate. Remember that board game that they said was based on a real map from the Flying Dutchman?
Based on a real treasure map.
We never really did see the map that it was based on, Or did we? Remember when
No
Patchy
way.
was looking for the lost SpongeBob episode? He used this map to find it. Now, at first I thought these two maps didn't look all that similar,
Yeah,
but the
not
more
really.
I looked at it, the more my mind was blown.
What?
Same red X in the middle, you got the compass, the palm trees, a turtle,
Oh.
a fish, but most importantly,
Oh,
they
damn.
both have the forked tree.
Half a league to the forked tree.
Dang!
Goose through the fork in the old tree.
That was
That is a very specific detail.
That was a big thing in on the original map too, like not the original, but the one that SpongeBob's holding in the episode. It was like the fork tree.
You would not
Wow.
just on any random map. The Flying Dutchman based his map off of the one from his past. So he's become the Flying Dutchman now, and his main target for haunting is, of course, the one who
SpongeBob.
ignored him his entire life,
Damn.
SpongeBob SquarePants. But how did Patchy become such a powerful ghost who can even manipulate time itself?
Amazing question.
There's actually an episode in season 12 called The Ghost of Plankton that gives us a pretty clear understanding of how ghost powers work. It basically just takes time and effort to grow your powers. Patchy's already given SpongeBob 20 years of dedication.
Why
Might
not
as well
something
go
to
a
get
little
powerful?
further with it as the Dutchman. Okay, let's quickly wrap up some loose ends people have commented about.
All right.
Why would Patchy be called the Flying Dutchman if he isn't even Dutch? Well, maybe there already was a real legendary Flying Dutchman pirate out there, and Patchy just took his name. Cause that's
Okay.
kinda what Patchy does. He's a fanboy who likes to pretend. Okay, how did
I can
Patchy
see that.
get his ghost ship? And what about the Dutchman's crew that was mentioned in that one episode?
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Comments are cooking. They're asking questions I wouldn't.
Stole your gold. We just went out to get pizza.
I don't know, it's implied Patchy's been the Dutchman for thousands of years and has the ability to travel to any point in time. That's plenty of time for him to find a ship and a crew and live out the pirate fantasy. You know, just
Right.
because it's a ghost ship doesn't necessarily mean the Dutchman.
Well, because once he unlocked the ability to time travel, you know, he really unlocked the ability to do anything. Because anybody who has time travel powers, really, you can do anything at that point. You could travel 2,000 years ago, and you could be, because, you know, you're dead forever at that point. So, you know, he could be just time traveling tens of thousands of years ago and just living out full lives over and over again, you know, getting crew members, yeah, stuff like that. So, I absolutely agree with Alex here. That's not really a good point, because he could have got his crew over thousands of years that he's time traveled.
Died with it. I mean, he has a ghost phone too. How come we see the Dutchman always stealing souls and taking them to Davy Jones?
Next up, Davy Jones' locker.
Doesn't that kind of imply he's more of a Grim Reaper type figure? Well, we've actually seen lots of ghosts try to steal souls in this show. In Money Talks, Mr. Krabs reveals he sold his soul to a whole long line full of different ghosts.
What?
Well, I sort of sold my soul already.
Get to the back of the line.
Such a Mr. Krabs thing.
This is just speculation, but maybe stealing souls and giving them to Davy Jones is a way to make you a stronger ghost. It would explain why the Dutchman is such a powerful ghost who can even time travel. That should about
Okay, I
cover
can see that.
everything. Back to the theory. Patchy travels back in time to visit all of his favorite, most cherished SpongeBob episodes, including his favorite episode, Shanghai.
We're gonna see me favorite show, Shanghai.
Except
Shanghai.
now, he's not just watching the episode. He's the one in control, and he's gonna make SpongeBob pay for everything he's done. And he's gonna make him pay over.
That makes
and
me wonder,
over
what was the original
over
Shanghai
again.
episode before
But then we get to the
Patchy
episode
was in it?
Ghost Host. Patchy initially moves in with SpongeBob to torture him, but as much as he tries to deny it, deep down, he's still that devoted fanboy who just wants SpongeBob to be his friend. As much as he wants to pretend to be the Dutchman, deep down, Patchy is still
Aw.
here. And that is why, if you go to the Krusty Krab after closing, and you go out the back to the dumpster, you can still read the words, Patchy was
here.
Yes, he certainly was.
I like that.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory.
That's
Thank
such a good
you
theory,
very
dude.
much. Oh, shit, what about Potty? He
Oh.
died with Patchy too, right?
Back
What the
facts.
hell happened to him? I can figure this out. Just give me a second. Let me just quickly rewatch every single episode of SpongeBob. Gotta watch the spin-offs too. Okay, let me see. The motherfucker ate him!
What carrot tastes like?
That is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory, baby!
Wait, didn't he bring up in the beginning that Patchy wanted to eat Potty? Wait, I swear he brought that up.
I am done! Woo! See ya!
What carrot tastes like?
That is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory, baby! I am done! Woo! See ya!
Let's go! 'Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, get away, get away, gotta know that I don't and I won't ever stop, 'cause you know I gotta win.
Alex Bale's videos are the only ones that can make my eyes water through sheer excitement.
You guys are the best. I've loved watching all.
Big thank you to all the reactors. Sorry I couldn't include all of you watching your reactions after I post a video. It's always my favorite part of being a YouTuber. Hey, man, I don't know if you've seen mine, but what's good?
All the reaction videos.
Okay. How does it hold up? I'll watch this little bit as well.
The time-traveling ghost pirate theory. I love this theory. I'd put it third in terms of believability, but in terms of just being like a really fun and compelling narrative, I'd say it's my favorite. It just adds so much depth and sympathy to both of these iconic, but maybe a little one-dimensional characters.
Okay, that's actually really funny that I brought up in the beginning. I said this was his most believable, this was his most believable as well, but I also said this was believable. He didn't think this one was believable. I might have to watch that and see how that got debunked, because it's so low. Squilliam was that low? I thought Squilliam was very believable as well. I thought the ones that were not so believable is this, the robot one, and this one. That one, I was like, maybe.
And yeah, maybe some parts of this theory could be stronger, but you gotta admit, it's crazy how much of it lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
I know they're working on a new SpongeBob movie with the Flying Dutchman as like the main villain, so, you know, there's a good chance it'll just completely debunk my theory, but at the same time, the Sandy movie confirmed my television theory, so I don't know.
Maybe this one could confirm that.
So yeah, those were my 8 SpongeBob theories. It was really fun revisiting them and seeing how they all held up.
Okay, well guys, hopefully you enjoyed my reaction to the Ghost Pirate theory. Which one should I watch of the remakes next? Let me know. I kind of want to watch Squilliam, because how did that get debunked? So I really believe that Squilliam one. I really believe that one. So I'm interested how it ended up as his worst one. But let me know which ones were edited the most, like which ones were changed the most next to this one, because y'all told me this one was the most changed up one. So let me know which one I should watch next. Yeah, I am very, very excited to check out more. Also, another video I wanted to do, because I haven't seen this theory yet. It was recommended, that's why I clicked on it. The Skin Theory by Doug Wooliver. Would you guys want me to watch the Skin Theory? Let me know. I mean, that's one I actually haven't seen yet, so let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for so much love on my other SpongeBob theory video. It's like already climbing to one of my more popular videos, so I appreciate the love. And yeah, like I said, please tell me which one to watch next. I would appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Oh, and subscribe.